Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. So as you guys know, my channel is mainly DC, but I do like to do some Marvel things and some things that I just really enjoy because Spider-Man is my all-time favourite Marvel character. I thought I should do a review for it. Considering I did watch it a few days ago, I've had some time to think about the movie overall in general and what I thought of it. I know some of you guys haven't seen it, and that is part of the reason why I didn't do a review as soon as I saw it. Because, you know, a lot of you won't even watch the video because you haven't watched it because there's spoilers, right? So overall, this Spider-Man movie was awesome. I really enjoyed it, but more about that later. So I've got a list here and we're going to go through it and say what I liked and what I didn't like. So number one, I really liked that we got to see more of Peter Parker's school life, more of this teenage superhero, how he gets along with it, his normal life, how he doesn't really like being Peter Parker and he likes being Spider-Man, and that is like a way for him to enjoy himself and feel like he's doing something. So I really enjoyed his school life and sort of his interactions with Zendaya's character, and I thought that was really funny even though she wasn't in much of the movie. And also I thought Ned was an awesome character. I really enjoyed him. He was really cool. So I thought the school life was definitely a good part of the movie. So moving on, no Uncle Ben in Spider-Man Homecoming. So yes, this has been a very big thing because remember, in all the Spider-Man movies, it's been like a set thing. You have to tell the Uncle Ben storyline for the first movie. So the Amazing Spider-Man told that, the Spider-Man 1 told that, so they've all had to do this in the past, and obviously in the comic books they've obviously done that, but in the movies they've done that. So this is the big change in the Spider-Man movies. Obviously this is the third reboot, so they're not telling the Uncle Ben storyline. There was a reference, you know, when Peter says, with everything that Aunt May's been through, you know, could you not tell Aunt May about me being Spider-Man? So that was obviously, I got that as a reference to Uncle Ben. I don't know if that's a direct reference, but it seemed like it. So moving on, I thought that was a very good part. I didn't really want to see the Uncle Ben thing again, even though I do want to see Green Goblin in the future. I just think the Uncle Ben thing, they did good to avoid that, and I think that would have got the ratings a bit lower, and obviously the story wouldn't be as highly rated. So Iron Man. I was very skeptical going into the movie with Iron Man being in it, considering I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan. I really don't like his character, to be honest, and that's a very controversial opinion. Sorry if that sort of offended you. To be honest, I thought he would be in more of the movie, and I like how he wasn't in much. I thought he was just sort of a long cameo. My one problem with Iron Man being in the movie is sort of like he's the father figure and Peter's looking up to him. I hope that he doesn't sort of get influenced by Iron Man, even though Stark did say, don't do anything I do. I feel like he's going to do stuff he does, so I don't know. I want Spider-Man to be his individual, his own character, and just grow by himself. So I think it was good that he didn't accept the Avengers thing at the end, so he changes more into an Avengers character. And I think Spider-Man is the best character in the MCU, in my opinion. So I feel like him being by himself for maybe the next movie will be very beneficial. So I did enjoy Iron Man, but I just didn't really enjoy him for the first part when he was being all Larry. You know, he was decent. I wouldn't say he's one of the best parts in the movie. Zendaya's character, I totally forgot her name, sorry about that, but there was a reference at the end to Mary Jane Watson, and we all know her as Peter's love interest, and, you know, she was in all the other old Spider-Mans. So I think they're sort of trying to hint at that, but I don't think Zendaya's character is actually going to be Mary Jane. Obviously that's not her name, but she says all my friends call me MJ, so I think that's just a nice reference. They're going to be calling her MJ because they're going to be friends in the next movie, and I reckon she'll get more screen time, obviously, because she really didn't have much screen time in this film. So I thought that was a really cool reference, and I was like, holy shit. So yeah. And the next bit I wanted to talk about was when the fucking reveal that Peter's girlfriend, technically, her father, was the fucking Vulture. I was like, oh my god. I actually freaked out when that happened. I was like, oh shit, this is awkward. And I just thought that was a really good twist to it. I'm pretty sure I saw some reports about this, but I wasn't at 100% on this, and it did get me. And I was like, oh my god. Okay, so that was a really cool twist. I really enjoyed that. And talking about the Vulture, I thought he was an awesome villain. He actually has a reason for being a villain. It was to help his family. I thought that was a really good part of his story, that he actually had a reason. He's just not crazy or whatever and just wants to take down Spider-Man. So I thought that was really cool, and I think he was one of the best villains in the MCU films as of now. So there was 2 post-credit scenes. One of them was kind of useless. I'm not really going to talk about that. That was just a funny Captain America one. But the other one with Vulture, we saw a member of the Sinister Six. I'm pretty sure he's called Scorpion, and he was actually in the film earlier, but he didn't really get much time. And so basically in the comics he's part of a team called the Sinister Six with like Green Goblin and Doc Ock. So I think that's a really cool reference, and it's definitely setting up for future Spider-Man films. So hopefully we get the Sinister Six in the next Spider-Man movie. I'm totally down for that. Doc Ock is one of my favourite villains, along with another villain that I'm going to mention later that could potentially be coming. I really want the Sinister Six. But I do feel like this was a very big change for Spider-Man and all Spider-Man films in the future. But I do want them to tell glimpses of his origin. They sort of reference that he got bitten by a spider, but I do want to see it because it kind of feels like they just skipped through that whole movie, and I do feel like we're gonna need a flashback scene to that at some point. So that is one complaint. I do think they should have done a flashback scene to his origin becoming Spider-Man. And I am a massive Spider-Man fan, but I wouldn't say this is the best Spider-Man movie, but I would say it's probably my favourite movie in the MCU as of now. A lot of MCU films I haven't been a fan of, but some of them have been awesome, like Doctor Strange. The first Avengers was pretty cool. I really enjoyed Captain America the Winter Soldier. I watched that recently, like a few days ago. I don't know why I didn't watch it, and I thought those were really good movies along with Spider-Man Homecoming. So I would say he's in the top 3 in the MCU, but I wouldn't say the best Spider-Man movie. This is a very controversial opinion, but I really enjoyed the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I thought they were very good, and I just really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the old Spider-Man movies, obviously, because they're a classic. Like, who hasn't watched them? I used to watch them when I was a kid, like on repeat constantly. So I thought it wasn't as good as some of the other Spider-Man movies, but it was definitely one of the best in the MCU. So here we go. Here's the next villain that I would like to see in the future, and with Ned being in the comics, him becoming the Hobgoblin in some versions of the comics, he could potentially become the Hobgoblin in the films in the future. Hobgoblin is one of my favourite villains in Spider-Man, along with Doc Ock, as I previously mentioned. So I think that will be awesome with Ned being such a nice guy becoming the Hobgoblin, and I just think he's such an awesome character. Like, Ned was so good. I think he's one of the best things. And also, the Hobgoblin is insane. I freaking love that character. And because I'm a massive Spider-Man fan, and since I was a kid I used to watch the Spider-Man animated series from like the 80s, 90s, not sure when it was, but I used to watch that all the time. That was my thing. That was like my best animated TV show ever. Not anymore, but obviously at that time. But I really enjoyed Hobgoblin and Doc Ock on there, and that's obviously where I've been influenced to sort of like these characters so much, along with reading some comics here and then. I'm not the biggest Marvel comic reader, if I'm honest, but yeah, they're my favourite villains. So if Ned becomes the Hobgoblin, I'm down. So I would really like for Spider-Man Homecoming 2, obviously they probably won't call it Homecoming, they'll probably just call it Spider-Man something, and that will be the Spider-Man 2 sequel. So I would really like the Sinister Six or the Hobgoblin. They're my 2 biggest picks. And Aunt May, yes, she was very good. I really enjoyed Aunt May. She was a lot different, and I felt like this was the change they needed, because the old Aunt May was kind of boring. We've seen the same iteration with different actors obviously, but the same motivations, the same emotions, you know. I felt like this Aunt May was a lot better, and it was a lot more relatable to the audience, and I thought that went really well. One part I really hated was at the end with the Avengers with Tony Stark, and I really hated the Iron Spider suit that he created. I was like, ugh. In the cinema, I was like, literally, when I saw it, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrible, don't take the suit, don't take the suit. I was literally repeating that, don't take the suit, don't take the suit, and when he didn't, I was hyped, because I really didn't like that suit. Some people like it, but I really hated that. I thought too much blue, not enough red. It felt like, I know Iron Man made it, but it just felt like an Iron Man Spider-Man suit. I know they've done that in the comics, but I'm just not a fan of that. Keep it original. That's why I'm so happy at the end that he got his Spider-Man suit back. It's not the best Spider-Man suit, the one that Tom Holland used, but I would say it was a very good suit. I think Andrew Garfield's was still the best Spider-Man suit, and I thought the original Spider-Man suit with Tobey Maguire was really cool. So I would say the suit is definitely behind them. I think more use of the spider webs is a better choice, and the logo was a bit small, and you know, not the biggest fan of that spider on his chest, but I felt like they didn't overdo the costume design. Like I think the Iron Spider suit we saw at the end for, we'll probably see that in Infinity War. I'm really not looking forward to seeing that suit again. I felt like that was a total Tony Stark switch on the Spider-Man suit, so I'm just hoping they don't use that, please. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this review, please be sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
It doesn't make us strong, it doesn't make us weak. Tongue tied to service like shark.